Hello and welcome to No Walkies, No Worries. My name is Quinn. I'm a certified trainer through the Karen Pryor Academy, and I'm also one of the managers of the adopter support team for the National Newfoundland Rescue. This presentation is for folks who maybe have a reactive dog who isn't able to go on walks at this time, or folks who have a dog whose leash manners are not up to par enough to safely take on a walk. Okay, so when we talk about dogs who might be foregoing walks at this time, it's important to talk about what a dog's needs actually are. Many people balk at the idea of not walking your dog, and that is a natural response, but they're truly not necessary. Dogs need mental stimulation, physical activity, and social connection. I think you'll see that they can get those things at home. Okay, so up first, we're going to be talking about a backyard sniffari zone. Sniffari zones are great for dogs because dogs' brain is 1/8 olfactory, so using their nose is exhausting. Okay, so what are the components of a sniffari? We want to have some novel items. We want this to be interesting for dogs, provide cover for the smells and texture for the dog's feet, as well as things they need to navigate around and behind and maybe even under to get to the smells. Zigzag your stations and spread them out as much as possible. For our actual sniff zones, we want interesting smells. So you can use blankets or toys from other dogs, hunting scents that you purchase online, and kitchen items that once held something interesting. You can also place something like a pea stick out for other dogs in front of your home. Just be sure to wear gloves when you bring it back into your yard. And snuffle mats with treats in it are great for this. Optional, you can use a leash, and this will slow down your dog so they'll sniff through the stations a little slower, and you can also practice your leash manners this way. Okay, so let's go ahead and watch a video of what a sniffari zone might look like. You can see here I'm using a loofah with some nice smelly food in a container, in this case, bacon, and I'm leaving that for 1 to 2 hours in an airtight container. Also, hunting scents for training hunting dogs, a friend's hat or a thrift store item, a borrowed item from a dog friend, and I'm providing lots of interesting novel items and cover for these objects. And I have some snuffle mats out in the yard with treats. Now you can see my dog navigating the sniffari zones and really enjoying himself and using his nose. Okay, so next up we have a flirt pole. Though in order to really understand the magic of flirt poles, it's helpful to understand the predatory sequence in our dogs. Okay, so let's discuss this predatory sequence. First, we have tracking and sniffing. This is where your dog finds where prey might be. Next, movement catches your dog's eye and they turn towards it. Maybe they even stalk it. Then they chase. This is where a dog's adrenaline is highest. If left here, it will stay here. This is why I don't recommend fetch. Fetch is a continual game of chase. And as their adrenaline soars, adrenaline turns into cortisol. But up next in the predatory sequence, we have bite and consume. This is a natural way of relieving that adrenaline, which then would alleviate that cortisol as well. A dog would then bite, shred, dissect, and consume their prey. Setting up human versions of the predatory sequence is a phenomenal outlet for dogs. Okay, so what does a flirt pole actually look like? A pencil case, an envelope, and a broom handle. No, this isn't your children's back to school list. This is the necessary items to make a flirt pole. I like pencil cases that look like stuffies. You can find these on Amazon. If you can't find one, what you can use is a toy that your dog has already de-stuffed a little bit. And go ahead and take everything out of that. Just leave the hole open that they've ripped out, and then use that as your pencil case. Then you're going to fill it full of tissue paper, or you can put an envelope in there. And we want to put treats in that envelope or put treats in the tissue paper. Really, we're just trying to create this moment where the dog can dissect their kill and go ahead and find some treats. Then we're going to tie the pencil case to a cord and tie that cord to the broom handle. I actually use an old leash in the video here, so if you can't find a cord, you can use an old leash. So how does a flirt pole work? Well, your dog is going to find the prey. So you're going to go ahead and stuff your pencil case, hide the prey anywhere in the yard. Make sure it's at least partially visible. Let your dog out, and once they see it, slowly begin moving it. Some dogs like to stalk before the chase, and so slow movement is best for that. But once they start to chase, go ahead and let them zoom. Though it's important for giant breed dogs, do not do any tight turns or quick turns with your giant breed dog. In fact, I do the chase part very short, so it's typically 2 to 3 seconds at most. And then you're going to allow your dog to dissect, pull out all the tissue paper, or rip open that envelope and eat their prey. So they're going to go ahead and eat the treats out of it. We always want to supervise this because you don't want your dog to eat any non-edible items. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and watch a video of me constructing a flirt pole as well as playing with my dogs with one. So you can see I use packing paper instead of tissue paper or an envelope. But really, I'm just stuffing it with a bone in there so the dog has something to dissect. Then I'm attaching the stuffy to an old leash, and I'm attaching that leash to a broom handle. And my dogs love chasing it and dissecting it and getting that bone out. Here, my dog loves chasing it again, getting his prey. He's head shaking it a little bit, and he dissects it and eats the bone out of there. Next up, we have shredding boxes. Dogs were built to shred and dig, and they love to do that. In my home, we call this kill-a-box. So you're going to go ahead and collect some boxes, and you can throw some junk mail in there as well and hide some treats in the pile. Then you're going to put that box inside a box inside a box. Don't make it too difficult at first, and hide your treats throughout the infinity box stack. Next, you're going to allow your dog to shred the boxes and find the treats. Always supervise and remove any staples. Eating cardboard can be dangerous. Let's watch a video of Kill a Box. You can see the aftermath. That dog was having a great time. Second to last, we have the Find It game. This is where dogs use their nose to find treats. Much like the name would suggest, you're going to hide treats. You may need to let your dog see you hiding the treats from behind a gate or on a tether until they understand the game. Hide treats around a room or in your yard. Allow your dog then to sniff out the treats. And once your dog is really good at this game, you can just hide 1 or 2 treats in a fairly large space and ask them to find. Make it harder by putting the treats up higher or under items. Here's a video of playing Find a Treat with my dogs. Go ahead and hide some treats and allow your dogs to sniff them out. Finally, we have an obstacle course. The truth is, dogs are built like athletes, so we should be giving them a solid workout. There are some safety considerations when dealing with dogs and homemade obstacle courses. We should make sure that any surfaces are stable. We also want to make sure these surfaces aren't too slippery, and be sure your dog moves slowly and watches where they're going. If you're luring them with a treat, sometimes they can just pay attention to the treat and not watch their feet. And be sure nothing will fall over and frighten your dog. Safety is our top priority. Giant breed dogs need to watch their joints and shouldn't jump over things or fall off things. To make a doggy obstacle course, you can use anything you have around the house. Some folks prefer to buy the items online, and you can find dog fitness items or agility course items online. Others prefer DIY. Whichever option you choose, get creative. Your dog will love trying out different surfaces, going under things, going up on things, moving around things, all with intention and having to focus. Stabilization items are great for working their core, just like in humans. And trust me, this will tire them out so much. Some components to a great doggy obstacle course are going to be under, over, and on items. These are things that dogs can learn to crawl under, such as chairs and tables, go over, like ramps, or stand on, such as platforms or wide, stable balance beams. Items that dogs can go through, such as cavallettis, hula hoops, or tunnels, are great for going through. And items that dogs can go around. These would be things like cones, poles, or even just a stool that your dog can spin around is great fun. And as a bonus, once your dog is good at obstacle courses, you can begin adding balance features to work on their core. Here's a video of a doggy obstacle course with my dogs. As a note, cavallettis should be placed about your dog's shoulder width apart. These are some stabilization items, such as a Bosu ball or a yoga stabilization mat. Yoga stabilization mats are fairly inexpensive and a great option. You can see I made my cavallettis out of laundry baskets, but they work great. Something for your dog to crawl under and find treats, and something for them to go around. And anytime your dog gets overstimulated or frustrated, go ahead and do a scatter in the grass. I wanted to include a picture I have of a doggy obstacle course from earlier in the year when we had some bad weather. You can see I literally just used a mattress on the floor as some of a stabilization exercise, and my dogs absolutely loved it.